Imagine being one of the early investors in Facebook or Google back in the early 2000s and what that might have made you now. Now, obviously in the past, investing in new companies has been for basically large corporations, lots of people with lots of money, and not necessarily for the masses. But Revenue Coin is a new crypto that's going to allow new projects in crypto as well as in mainstream markets. Revenue Coin is a brand new crypto which is allowing a level playing field in investments across the space. It gives more opportunities to smaller cryptos to be able to form, as well as other businesses to gain revenue in order to be able to start work on their projects, as well as that allowing other people to invest small amounts and get involved in early startups, which previously they may never have had a chance to do. Now, if we look at the introduction talking about Revenue Coin over on Crypto News, we can see that Revenue Capital has a unique approach to providing capital and support to community to its portfolio companies, allowing startups to preserve their ownership. So most startups, when they need to get off the ground, they end up having to sell a large amount of their stake to be able to raise any capital. Now, Revenue does not take any ownership stake from the investors that are using the platform to gain revenue, but instead make their money through different ways. It's going to allow autonomy across all different classes to be able to get into previous opportunities that were never open to them, which is pretty much the biggest thing, in my opinion, that crypto offers, and one of the most exciting things about cryptocurrency in general. Okay, so we can see sort of both sides of things and how there's potential for growth in this. And every month, 10% of portfolio companies' revenue will be invested into the RVC, okay, the Revenue Coin, to buyback and burning process. In addition, 50% of these funds will be going to support new projects as well as existing portfolio companies. So you can see there's basically a deflationary asset that every month is going to be burning tokens, very much like Binance Coin, which has been burning tokens. And every time you see a burn in the token, you see a big spike in the price. So potentially this could be a great opportunity if you are interested in investing in Revenue Coin, if you're looking for long-term investment and long-term ways to be able to build your own personal wealth. Revenue Coin, I'll leave a link for down below, is available over on PancakeSwap, so you can go and check that out if you wish to find out some more information, and if you perhaps wish to purchase a Revenue Coin. It's been featured already on a range of large news platforms, so it's really starting to grow in terms of its popularity, and potentially is a great opportunity to jump into something early that could show some great returns further down the road. Now, at the moment, we're seeing a huge amount of money flowing into the crypto market, and a lot of craziness has been going on with people buying huge amounts of crypto. Doesn't show much in terms of a use case or any particular value, but Revenue is one of the newer ones that I think really has something about it, because I know a number of people who've started their own businesses, and one of the biggest problems that any business has is to be able to raise capital to start with. So I think you have the potential to not only unlock great opportunities for new business development and to create some new projects that perhaps normally would never have ever got across the line. And as we see more and more crypto games, etc. entering the space, this is perhaps another area or another way that they can get involved, as well as NFTs, etc. So there's a huge amount of business development going on. Obviously, in the last couple of years, the world has changed massively due to the coronavirus, but as we're seeing tech developing, we're seeing more and more opportunities arising. Okay, so it's raising capital basically by selling coins, and as the capital is raised, it's basically going to go away and find new companies which you think has good opportunity. And obviously by doing this, it allows you to invest in all of these different companies, as well as into the value of the Revenue Coin going forward. Now, there's already successful companies within the ecosystem, so it's already starting to establish itself in the space, but it's still a very early opportunity, and that's what we're really looking for in crypto, because we don't necessarily need to have huge investments to be able to see some good returns if we can get in early enough to a good value project. Now, there's a number of benefits available to holders in that there's exchangeability, there's a lot of liquidity within the market which allows you to exchange various cryptocurrencies, etc. It will give you various payment functions as well as voting rights on different companies, etc. that get involved in Revenue Coin. So it gives you an opportunity to learn about new projects and invest into projects that in the past were never available to you to do so. But the key thing for me is all about the deflationary and the fixed supply. Okay, so it means that there is only ever going to be a set amount of tokens, and each month, as I've mentioned previously, they are going to be burning tokens. Now, looking at this chart on the right, it's showing that the daily trading volume of cryptocurrencies in US dollar billions over the years since only 2018. We're now sitting at 2021, moving into 22. You know, we've already gone up from 25 billion to 200 billion, which is basically an 8x, and that's going to continue as we move further down the line. Crypto is growing, and obviously it will continue to grow whether the markets are moving up or down. Crypto is ultimately going to be on the path for a huge development in the future. So what better way to get involved in that, but there's being in a company that's supporting the growth of crypto companies as well as other tech firms, etc. So if you come over to the website, you can have a look at the revenue coin growth model, which is pretty cool, and you can change depending on the growth rate or what you perceive to be the potential growth rate of different things. But even at conservative levels, at the beginning the prices are still fairly low, but potentially after a couple of years could also sort of start to see significant growth. Now, this is not necessarily going to return you 100x or 1000x in the space of the next sort of year or so, but that's not necessarily such a big problem, because that's actually where we want to have majority of our holdings in sort of safer cryptos that are going to perhaps double in the next year, perhaps double in the next sort of 2 years or so, and is sustained and backed up by something that actually is fundamentally working and adding value to people. Okay, so if we think about all these cryptos, Dogecoins, Shiba Inu, they're only pretty much backed up by people buying and selling that particular token, which makes them a bit vulnerable to a lot of volatility. But Revenue Coin is also backed up by the success of the companies that it's investing in, so it also has another kind of line for it to become successful. Or if you yourself own a startup or have an idea that you are looking to maybe raise some money for, you can also come across the website and you can join the ecosystem, which will allow you to apply for raising funds. Revenue will help you with raising funds, etc. And then that's another way that you can potentially get your business off the ground and started. Now, in terms of tokenomics, always important that we take a look at tokenomics. When we see teams holding half of a coin, etc. at the start of a project, that's always a bit of a cause for concern, because they need a lot of supply, because ultimately that's basically where we see rug pulls and things happening. But as you can see, there's good distribution already in the system. And at the moment we are looking at the phase Q4 2021, we're starting to move on to major exchanges, centralized and decentralized. So that's something great, because when we see them move on to exchanges, etc., that's when we start to see huge spikes in prices. When we see things listed, obviously we've seen things listed in the past on Binance, as well as Coinbase, etc., and then we can start to see them absolutely booming and taking off. And that's where we like to see what's going on. It's all looking really solid. They've got all the information on all of the team. You can go and look at their LinkedIns and find out more information about them. There's a huge deal of transparency all the way across this website. They've got a great team of advisors as well who've been involved in some really successful partnerships across the years. So this as well is a really good, exciting project in my opinion, and one that really should be on your watch list, whether that's now or looking into early 2022. So basically around the time of public sale, guys, is when you want to be getting into new coins, especially if they've got fantastic use cases. So Revenue Coin is definitely somewhere where I'll be looking to build my portfolio, because I really like the use case. I really can see some value, the website, etc. Great transparency and a huge amount of information available. If you want to learn more about the project, guys, click on the link which I'll leave down below. There's also, I'm going to leave the Twitter, etc., so you can go and follow them over there, where they've already got a pretty sizable following, and they're putting out a lot of information on a daily basis as well. There's also a Telegram link, so you can get in touch with the team and find out more about Revenue Coin if you so wish. Guys, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button as well. For the YouTube algorithm, please hit the like button as well. Thanks very much. See you later. Bye-bye.